Hail, I am Keith from Edinburgh, Scotland. I am a manipulator, juggler, spinner of poi and clubs. Been spinning poi, I guess, coming on 7 years now. Clubs, about 2.5, coming up to 3, I guess. I got into poi spinning. I'd been around it for a long time. A lot of my friends in like metal clubs and just like, just the social circles and were doing it. It never really caught me for a long time. I ended up drumming in this festival where we'd done the festival and lots of fire spinners around, and I thought this is quite cool. And then I went to one of these after parties and I picked up a set of poi and I just couldn't get enough. I was like, this is great. From then on, for ages, I was just carrying poi everywhere, constantly. The poi scene in Edinburgh at the time, even though I didn't know it, was actually really good. So I saw people like Nick Woosley and all those sort of people before ever knowing who they were or anything like that. They were just spinning in my local park. I liked the movement. I liked that it wasn't static, that you didn't need to keep your feet still while you were doing it. And because I spent all my time before poi either drumming or going dancing, like constantly dancing in clubs and just loving the feeling of movement. And I liked the connection between doing something that was a skill and something that I enjoyed aesthetically, and linking that with the movement and dance. My early inspirations, I guess, pretty much the jugglers who were around. To start with, I would always, in Edinburgh, the thing that you would do was you would go to the juggling club to spin poi. And the people who really inspired me was, first off, Meg MCP. She was by far my biggest inspiration to start with for a long, long time. And then just the other jugglers around, there was a guy called Liam Wilson and Ollie, and a guy called Sam, and a contact juggler called Tom, who were just hanging around in the local scene. And that was very, very early on. I was less attracted to the spin element of it and more attracted to throwing stuff. And these guys, who are all really phenomenal jugglers, I was just I want to do that. I want to throw stuff and do stuff that was really innovative. It's a never-ending process. You can never, there's no end goal, there's no completion, there's no I've completed poi. There's always just this endless feeling of creation, and the further I get into poi, the more it feels possible, the more it opens up. And especially with all the juggling poi stuff that I do, I'm seeing that I'm better able to link crossovers from other disciplines that I really like. So it's not just poi, and I suppose I'm as much of a ball juggler that happens to be using a poi and a club juggler who happens to be using poi as I am a poi spinner. Those people and those influences are huge. My ideas for new tricks, I guess it's partly exploration, just feeling a move and seeing the natural thing inside it. I suppose by far the biggest is watching jugglers. By far the biggest, especially the guys coming out of the European and French circus schools, have an incredible way of looking at tricks and disciplines that I find incredibly exciting. And watching watching the French club jugglers in particular is a huge thing. And just seeing what I can do, just taking a trick and just applying the next logical step to it. It's very much about feel and very little about terminology, or it's very little about thinking it through. I don't really ever think through many of my tricks. It's just, I'm doing a trick and I'll just try and do something crazy. And 99% of the time, that's a total mess. But 1% of that time, I come up with something really creative. Seeing what can be done with an object, especially taking the entire object, not thinking of it as a spinning prop, not thinking of it as anything but just an object, not applying any rule to it, just see what happens. Just be creative, do what feels right, And if you find a move or a feeling that you like, go with it. It doesn't matter if everyone else around you thinks it's absolutely rubbish, go with it. And don't get stuck into like popular trends. Don't just learn the next cool trick because it's the next cool trick. And also do a lot of cross-discipline. And probably the most thing that's useful is learn to dance. Learn to dance and learn to juggle. If you want to be good at poi, those are probably the biggest two helps you can have. If you know where your body's at, you're going to look beautiful. If you know other object manipulation disciplines and how to understand them, then you're going to become so much more creative so quickly, because there's other things going on. You understand way more about object manipulation in general than if you keep yourself tied down to one prop or one feeling or one breed of moves. And always enjoy it. There's that point when you pick up a discipline, especially like, in object manipulation, and it feels amazing, and then you're a couple of months in and then you realize all this stuff is really hard, and to get to the next bit is really, really hard. Love that plateau. Just enjoy practicing, because if that's what will keep you coming back. If you can love just practicing for practicing's sake, even if you spend 2 months and you don't get any better or even worse at the thing you're doing, if you enjoy that, then that's going to push you, and that's going to be the thing that makes you a really creative and interesting juggler to watch.
Hey friends, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want, you can listen to the full unedited audio of it by subscribing to my podcast. There is a link to it in the description of the video. And if you dug this interview, then please let me know by leaving comments and liking the video. I have a couple others that I did like this back in the spring, and if y'all are down, I would be more than happy to post them in the next couple months here. So, thanks for watching.